Okay guys, now let's move on to the next question. If you have two straight sticks of length 7.5 feet and 3.25 feet, what is the minimum length you can measure? So two sticks of length 7.5 and 3.25, okay, 7.5 feet and 3.25 feet, what is the minimum length you can measure? And options are given and we need to find the answer. Of course, unfortunately the answer is not given here, so we need to find it out. Okay, now look here. So here, how to solve this question? When you get a question like this, how to solve it? So this question is actually based on a concept of LCM and HCF. So we need to find whether we need to apply the concept of LCM or HCF. So which concept we need to apply here? LCM or HCF? So I will give you a tip in order to check, in order to find out whether the question is given, the question given here is to solve this question, we actually need to use LCM or HCF, okay? Whether we need to use LCM or HCF. So just check the question once again. If you have two sticks of length 7.5 feet and 3.25 feet, what is the minimum length you can measure? You can measure. That means two length of certain measurement is given, and they are asking you to find the minimum length, okay, you can measure with these two sticks. That means this measure is actually a part of these two sticks, right? Look here, there is a 7.5 feet stick and a 3.25 feet stick, and they are asked to find the minimum length which can be measured with the help of these two sticks, okay? That means that minimum length will be actually a part of these two sticks, right? That means it's actually a fragment or a part, okay, or a piece of these two segments. In all that cases, okay, if you are finding a part of the given quantity or given data, then you need to use the concept of HCF, okay? Here you need to use the concept of HCF. Okay, now let's solve the question. So we already found it as there are many methods to solve this question, but the solving this question based on HCF is actually the most simple method, okay? We will be getting the answer very easily. So 7.5, find the HCF of 7.5 and 3.25, you will be getting the answer. So here, find the HCF of 7.5 and 3.25. So how to find the HCF of decimal? First of all, convert it into natural numbers. So 7.5 can be written as 750. Multiply it by 100, okay, for both the values, 750 and 325. Find the HCF. HCF using long division method, okay? So 325. 2 times, right? So 650, right? Okay, so here when you find the HCF of 350 and 325, you will get the answer as 25, okay? 25, and convert back to decimal, that is by 100, okay? So you will be getting it as 0.25. So our answer is 0.254. Answer is B, okay? 0.25. So it's very simple question. I will be explaining the question once again. So if you have two sticks of length 7.5 and 3.25 feet, what is the minimum length you can measure? Well, that's the question they are asked. So there are two sticks, and here we need to use the concept of HCF, okay, in order to solve this question. So you need to find the HCF of 7.5 and 3.25, and I already explained why I used HCF here, right? So find the HCF of 7.5 and 3.25. So when you find the HCF of 7.5 and 3.25, you will be getting the answer as 0.25. So our answer is 0.25 foot, okay? So there are many methods in order to solve this question, but this is actually the easiest method. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. A simple mathematical operation in each number of the sequence 14, 18, 20, 24, 32 result in a sequence with respect to prime numbers. Which one of the following is the next number in this sequence? Okay, so we need to find, there is a sequence of numbers is given, and on doing a simple mathematical calculation onto each of these numbers, you will be getting a prime number. Okay, so which one of the following is the next number in this sequence? So we need to find the next number. So let's copy down the sequence first. So the first number is 14, 18, 20, 24, 30, 32. 14, 18, 20, 24, 30, 32. Okay, now look here. 14 minus 1, okay, 14 minus 1, 13, which is a prime number. 18 minus 1, 17, which is a prime number. 20 minus 1, 19, which is a prime number. 24 minus 1, 23, another prime number. 30 minus 1, 29, another prime number. 32 minus 1, 31, which is another prime number. So after 31, the next prime number will be what? It will be 37. Okay. So here, look here, 14 minus 1, you are getting 13. So a value minus 1, you need to get 37. So it will be 38. 38 minus 1, you will be getting 37. So our answer is C, option C, 38. It's a very simple question, right? Now let's move on to the next question. So this is actually a very important question. Okay, now look here. One page is torn from a booklet whose pages are numbers in the usual manner, starting from first page as 1. The sum of the numbers on the remaining pages is 195. The torn page contains which of the following numbers? Okay, so there is actually a book with certain number of pages, and one paper is torn out. Okay, one paper is torn out means you are actually losing 2 pages, right? So in both sides you actually got 1 pages, and one paper is torn out, then you are actually losing 2 pages. And it is said that the sum of the number of the remaining pages is 195. So after tearing that page out, then the remaining number sum is what? 195, right? So we need to find the torn page content which of the following numbers. So this question is actually based on arithmetic progression, that too based on the sum of a series of numbers. Okay, now the keyword is the sum of the number of the remaining pages is 195. Okay, sum of the numbers of remaining pages is what? Remaining pages is what? It is 195. This is actually the keyword. Okay, and we need to find the torn page. Okay, so I think you all know the concept of sum of n numbers. It is nothing but, so here we need to use the equation n into n plus 1 by 2. Okay, this is actually sum of n terms. Okay, so look here. So here it is said that the sum of the numbers of the remaining pages is 195. Sum of the numbers of the remaining page is 195. Okay, and that means when you turn out, actually if we are not tearing that paper out, then the sum will be greater than 195. If you know that concept, then we can easily solve this question. Okay, that means the sum of, when you are keeping that paper, you are not tearing out that paper, then the sum will be greater than 195. Of course, if you know that concept, then we can solve it. Okay, now here you need to substitute a value for n such a way that the sum should be greater than 195 and it should be nearer to 195. Okay, one paper is torn out and its sum reduced. Actually the sum of all the pages is certain value. When one paper is torn up, you are losing 2 pages, so the sum reduced to 195. So the actual sum, okay, the real sum, that means without tearing out the paper, that sum is a nearby the value of 195. So that should be greater also, greater as well as nearby the value 195. So we need to substitute the value for n in such a way that the value should be greater as well as nearer to 195. Okay, now I am substituting the value. So I am substituting 19 here. Okay, for n I am substituting the 19 here. Let the initial number of pages be 19. So here 19 into 19 plus 1 by 2. So we assume that the initial number of pages without tearing, let it be 19 first. Okay, so 19 into 19 plus 1 by 2 is nothing but 19 into 20 by 2. So 190. So this 190 is actually less than 195, right? 190 is less than 195. That means 19 is not correct. Okay, so even though after tearing out, the sum is 195. But here when you substitute the value of 19 as initial number of pages, then we got the value as 190, which is less than 195. So 19 is not the correct. Now let's substitute the value 20. Instead of n, let the number of pages be 20. So 20 into n into n plus 1 by 2. 20 plus 1 by 2. That is 20 into 21 by 2. So you will be getting 210. Yeah, that is when you substitute 19, you got it as 190. When you substitute it 20, you got it as 210. That means the value 195 is actually between 19 and 195 is actually between 190 and 210. And the greatest nearby value is nothing but 210. Okay, the greatest nearby value is nothing but 210. So we can assume that we can we can keep that n's value is 20. That is the initial number of paper in that book is actually what? 20. From the 20 papers only, the page is torn out. Okay, so we got that the sum of the number of pages initially, that is without tearing out, is 210. Okay, the sum of the sum of the initial number of pages, that means the sum of the numbers without tearing out the paper, it is nothing but 210. We got that value, and after tearing it changes to 195, right? Sum before tearing it is 210, after tearing it is 195. Now look here. So this 210 minus 195 will give you a value, and that value will be the sum of the torn out pages. Okay, that means 2 pages are torn out, and 210, that is the sum of the total number of pages without tearing out, minus 195, the sum of the total pages after tearing out, will give a certain value. That value will be what? That value will be the sum of the 2 papers, sum of the 2 pages, right? So here 210 minus 195, you will be getting it as 15, right? Check whether it is correct or not. Yeah, 15. So this 15 is actually the sum of the 2 pages, right? The 15 is actually the sum of the 2 missing pages. I think you all got the concept. So 210 is the total number of pages, sum of the total number of pages without tearing, and 195 is the sum of the pages after tearing, right? So on that difference, that sum will be that difference, that value will be the sum of the pages, sum of the missing pages, right? Sum of the 2 missing pages. So 15 is actually the sum of the 2 missing pages. Now look into the option. So here, which option will give you a sum 15? Look here. Look 5 and 6. No, it won't give. 7 and 8. It will give it. 8 plus 7 is what? 15, right? So our answer is B, 7 and 8. It's a very simple question, as well as you need to think, okay? Now let's move on to the next question. Consider the following arrangement that has some missing letters. So there is an arrangement given, and we need to find the missing letters. So this is actually a frequent type question, as UPSC actually asked. We can find this type of questions in the previous question papers also, right? So it's a very simple question. Now let's copy down the question. AB dash B dash BCB dash DCD CDED dash D DC DED dash. Okay, now we need to group these terms. Okay, so the missing term is given, the question is given. Now here we need to find the missing term. In order to find the missing term, group in 5s. Okay, group these terms in 5. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, that is AB dash B dash BC B dash D C DC D E D dash D. Now it's very simple, right? Just substitute the values. So here it is in the form AB. What will be here? A, right? B C B, and here it will be CD CDC DE. So the missing term is A C C E. A C C E. So our answer is C, A C C E. Check whether it is correct or not. A B C E. Okay. So guys, one more thing. If you find any mistakes while I'm solving, please write it down in the comment box. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm making any mistakes. Okay. Now check whether you are getting the correct answer. You're also getting this answer, A C C E. Okay, guys. Now let's move on to the next question. Let A3, BC and DE2 of B 4-digit numbers where each letter represents a different digit greater than 3. If the sum of the numbers is 15,902, then what is the difference between the values of A and D? So here there are many key points. Okay, there are many key points that you need to keep in consideration when you solve this question. Okay, there are many key points given. The first point is A3, BC, and DE2F are 4-digit numbers. Okay, they are 4-digit numbers. They are 4-digit numbers where each letter represent a different digit. That's another key point. Each letter represent different digit. Okay, each letter represent different digit, and this is the second point. And that digit is what? Greater than 3. That digit is greater than 3. So these are the 3 key points that you need to keep into consideration while solving this question. So the question is two set of 4-digit numbers are given. That is A3BC and DE2F are the 4-digit numbers. Of course, that is 4-digit numbers where each letter represent a digit greater than 3. Okay, that means each letter represent, it's actually a 4-digit number, and each letter is different, entirely different from another digit, and all that letters is actually numbers greater than 3. Okay, so you need to keep these 3 points in consideration. Now let's solve it. If the sum of the number is 1592, then what is the difference between the values of A and D? Right? So A, 3, B, C, D, E, 2, F. Okay. So in order to solve this question, you actually need the first assumption is you need to find the value for C and F. Okay. So let's check let's assume certain values for C and F. Now look here, what is the first criterion? Each letter should be different. Okay, C and F should be entirely different, and that should be greater than 3. Okay, not equal to 3 but greater than 3. That means the value should be greater than 3. So let's assume C as 4. Okay, now before that what they are saying that the total sum is what? 1,5902. So when you add C and F, you need to get 2 in the ones place. Okay, that means when you add C and F, you need to get 2 in ones place. Means when you add C and F, you need to get a number. Either it is a 2-digit number, it should be a 2-digit number, and that number's ones place should be 2. That means if that means the 2-digit number, most probably it will be 12. Okay, because the number which is possible by the given criterion is 12. Okay, it can be 22 also, but according to this condition we can't assume that value is 22, because look here, each digit should be entirely different and should be greater than 3, and the given digit is actually a 4-digit number. So we can't, for C and F, we can't assume 2-digit numbers. Okay, look here, C is 4, then F will be what? F will be 8. Okay, F will be 8. Now assume C as 5, then F will be what? F will be 7, right? Okay, now assume C as 6. When you assume C as 6, then F will be 6. But can we take 6 here? Because it is said that each letter have a different digit. If we are assuming C as certain value, then F should not be that value. But here we assumed C as 6, then F should be also 6 in order to get the 2 here, right? So we can't take 6 here, because both C and F will be getting 6. So we can't neglect that. Okay. Okay, and when we assume 7, here it will be 5, and that is actually a repetition. Okay, so these are the 3 possible values. So rep 6. These are the 2 possible values. Okay, now our next aim is to give values, okay, for C and F. Now look here. First of all, we assumed C as 4 and F as 8. Look here. So for C, I given as the value 4, and for F, I give it as 8. 4 plus 8, 12. So there will be one remainder. So here one remainder and here 2 is coming, right? And we need to give a certain value for b. That means instead of getting 0 here, 1 plus b plus 2 will be 10. Okay, if you need to get 0 here, then 1 plus b plus 2 should be 10. So assume a value for b in such a way that here you need to get 0 and 1 should go remainder here. Okay, so b value should, that means when you add 1 plus b plus 2, you should get the value 10. So b is nothing but 7. B is 7. So we got C as 4, then F as 8. Now we assumed B as 7. Okay. Now 1 plus 7, 8. 8 plus 2, 10. The remainder gone up. Now here, look here. Here we need to get the value 9. So 1 plus 3, 4, right? 1 plus 3, 4. And 4 plus 5, right? 4 plus 5. So E value is what? E value is 5. So 4 plus 5, 9. Okay. Now here we need to find the value. So it all get completed, right? Now here we need to assume the value of A and D. Okay. Now we need to assume the value of A and D in such a way that their sum should be 15, right? A and D, and we need to assume the value in such a way that their sum should be 15. So, and check this criterion also. Each letter should the numbers should be different. Okay, each integer in this calculation should be entirely different, and that should be greater than 3. Okay, so what are the possible outcomes? So assume that A is 5, then D will be 10. So can we take 5 and 10 here? Because 5 we got a value of 5, right? We already got E as 5, so we can't take A as 5. And can we take D as 10? No, because it is said that it is actually a single digit number. So we can't take D as 10. So 5 and 10 is not. Now 6 and 9. Can we take 6 and 9? Look here. Is there any value 6 coming here? No. Is there any value 9 coming here in these 4 digits? No. So we can take 6 and 9. Okay. So A is 6 and D is what? 9. Their sum will be 15. So what they're asked to find, what is the difference between the value A and D? So we need to find A minus D. So we got A as 6 and D as 9. So A minus D, you will be getting 3. Okay, minus 3, just neglect that negative sign. So their difference, they just ask, we don't know which value is greater, A or D. Okay, they just ask the difference between A and D. So we got A minus, that means the difference between A and D is nothing but 3. Okay, that means 9 minus 6 or 6 minus 9, you will be getting a negative sign. Just neglect that negative sign. So they just asked only the difference, not the specific value. So it is 3. So the difference between A and D is 3. Okay. So the question is over, and it's a you need to use certain logics here in order to solve questions like this. I think you all got the concept behind this question.